This is a large nail, but we have all kinds of sizes. Obviously, use the one that is good for what you're trying to use it for the size of your wood. So I'm going to try to connect these two pieces of wood together, and I'm going to choose a place to put my nail. I do not want to use the edge of the wood because that will split the wood. I also don't want to use this edge because it might open up that side. So I want to choose a spot kind of inward and as centered as I can. If you choose to put in two nails, I would put in one nail in a corner area and in one opposite corner area. Not straight across from each other and not up and down from each other. I would do it in a diagonal shape. All right, when you start, you want to kind of push it in a little bit with your hand, just so there's a little hole there that'll guide it. And you're going to tap it. When I hold the hammer, you can hold it in a few different places. If you want to start by tapping up here, just because it's comfortable, then go ahead and do that. If you want to start in the middle, that's probably better for you guys. If you can, once you start start swinging a little bit at the end, then you can use the end of the hammer. So I'm going to tap it a little bit just to get it started. So now it's sitting there all by itself. Okay? And as I'm doing that, you might want help from a friend to hold down the wood, but you want to make sure your opposite hand is far enough away that you're not going to wham and hit your hand, because that really hurts. Okay? Tap, tap, tap. And notice I'm tapping a little harder, a little slower. Okay? And then I can start swinging a little bit higher. I am not going to swing way up in the air like this. And you noticed it bent a little bit. When that happens, if you're strong enough, bend it with your hand. If you're not, you can always just tap it a little bit or call a teacher, because that's probably the best idea. If you get a nail that you need to get out, okay, ask for help the first time you do this, but you just pull it out going one direction or the other. Thank you. Again, wanting help from a friend to hold it. And you're going to do it slowly so it doesn't come flinging out. Okay? And that's how you use a hammer and nail.
All right, class, this is going to be how to use a drill. I'm going to talk about this drill specifically, the Porter cable, but you can use some of these same ideas with most other drills that you might come across. The first thing I want to talk about is this is the trigger. This is what allows the drill, controls its speed. You can press this all the way down for maximum speed or just a little for a slower drill. All right? If you want to adjust the power that your drill is going to be drilling with, there's usually something around the drill to do that with. This right here is how you do it on the Porter cable. You can just move this back and forth. The lower the number, the less power the drill has when it drills inside. Well, why would you need this? Well, if you're drilling a hole, you want maximum power. But if you're drilling a screw into really thin wood or soft pine, you don't want maximum power, because if you do have that, you'll drill the screw all the way through your wood. So you might lower it down to something like 18 or so. Next thing I want to talk about is directional control, because there's a button that usually controls the direction of the drill. This button here is pointing back away from the drill, so it's telling you that when you press that in, it's going to be drilling the screw or drill out of the wood. On the flip side, there's a button that if you push it again, it's pointing towards the drill. That's going to push your screw or drill into the wood. Outside of that, if anything else should happen to the drill, your best bet is to go to a teacher. And if you ever feel uncomfortable about using the drill, just run by your teacher and get a quick tutorial. Thanks. Alright kids, we're going to talk about how to drill or pre-drill a hole so that when you go to take your screw into the wood, it screws in a lot quicker and easier without much effort. First of all, you want to make sure you have the right drill bit. Talk to your teacher about the size of the drill bit you need, and that's all a measurement depending on what type of screw you're using. So if I'm getting ready to drill a hole in this wood, I've got to first think about how long is my drill bit and what type of what's the width of my wood. If I look right here, the drill bit is longer than the wood, so if I start drilling, I'm going to drill right into the carpet, which is a bad idea. So you want to find another piece of scrap wood, something that you wouldn't use to build with. You want to put that underneath it, and then double check how long your drill bit is. See, that should be perfect. I can drill all the way through this first piece without going into the floor. Next, it always helps to have one of your friends who's standing or sitting somewhere else so they can see at what angle you're going to drill into. So in this case right here, I want to make sure that I'm not at an angle when I drill my hole. Unless, of course, that's what I'm trying to do. In this case, I want to make sure it's straight up and down. Look at your friend for support. Is that all right, Mr. King? All right. So the next thing you're going to do is put your hand on top and then get up over the drill. Don't be standing to the side. This is a weak drilling position. Get over the drill, kind of put your shoulder in line with the drill itself, and then you're going to start slow. In this case, I'm getting a little nervous because I'm scared my wood's going to start flying around too. So, Mr. King, would you grab that? Thank you. Start slow, and then once you get a little hole, you can drill it all the way in, pushing. It's all the way in at this point, so I'm set. Now I'm going to pull it out, so I'm going to put my hand on the other side, and I'm actually going to press the trigger again and pull at the same time. And I'm done. Now last but not least, when I'm done with the drill, you want to leave it in a safe place, so just set it to the side where somebody's not going to stab themselves with the drill bit. Otherwise, have a good time, and now you're ready for the screw.
All right, guys. Now you need to know how to screw in the actual screw. First of all, you need to make sure you have the right drill bit in. You took out the other one, and now you've got your screwdriver bit back in here. We're going to use a screw, and we're going to use the hole that we just made. When I start, I want to make sure that my screw is longer than the piece of wood to make sure it's actually going to connect the two pieces. And it is, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. I start by putting it in the hole and twisting it by hand a little bit, just to make it so it stays there, so it doesn't fall out. When you're drilling, you want to do just like when you're drilling a hole in it. You want to stand over top of it and make sure you're pushing down on it as much as possible. If you're doing this from the side, which a lot of you may end up doing, you are going to need someone holding a piece of wood so that it stays where it's supposed to, and you need to push with two hands on the drill itself to get it pushed in there. If you feel uncomfortable doing that, or if you feel like it's not working, or the bit, when you screw it, if it just bounces like this inside the screw, you're going to want to ask for a teacher help or a parent to help you out. All right? You're going to make sure it fits into the screw head properly. You may have to move the drill a little bit to make that work. And again, you're going to do this in little bursts, so you just do a little bit. When doing this, yep, you're going to need some help holding the wood so it doesn't move. Okay? I like to start by going a little slow, just to make sure it bites into the wood okay. And then as it does that, I do little bursts to make sure it's going, and I'm pushing down.
Stop.
Okay? When it makes a noise like it's done, you stop. And there you go.
Alright, we're going to real quickly talk about some things about safety. First off, kids, this is fairly obvious, but you want to make sure that you don't leave wood lying around for people to trip on. So if you see a spare piece of wood over there, take it, give it to your teacher, or find your scrap pile and put it in the scrap pile. Even if it's not yours, we need to keep the area clean for people walking around. If you're using a drill, always make sure that you carry the drill facing down with the point down. Never carry it to the side or pointing which direction towards somebody. The other thing is when you set it down, the best way to set it down is on the battery, just like this. You can set it down on its side as well, but of course, this seems obvious and kind of hard to do, never set it down like this. Last but not least is dealing with drill sizes. There's numerous drill sizes out there in case you have to drill a larger hole than what you might need for a screw. Your teacher has the different drill sizes. If you need a new drill bit put in there, please just come talk to your teacher. We'll take a look at the wood that you're trying to put in that area or the hole you're trying to make, and we'll pick out a good one for you. You can always help us by measuring the diameter across the hole, because then we can use the drill bit to line that up. Like this is a 1.5 inch diameter, and that helps us a lot. Thanks for watching. Oh, before I forget, kids, do not leave screws and nails lying on the ground. I mean, professionals do this all the time, and if you walk by and you hit the wrong edge, it pops the nail or screw up, and then that goes into your shoe. And as you can see, that'd probably hurt and give you a trip to the nurse's office. All right, Good luck and be safe.